Hi Libra, welcome to a video on the transit of Jupiter in Sagittarius, and this is for both Libra Sun and Libra Rising. This will be affecting your third house, which is the house that Gemini, a fellow air sign, rules in the universal chart. This transit will be occurring from November 8th, 2018 until December 2nd, 2019. And so this is a house that deals with teaching and learning and communicating. So Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, can give you more opportunities in this area, or these areas, I should say. And so for anyone who has wanted to be a teacher or who currently is a teacher, and maybe you're looking for a new gig, maybe you want more teaching opportunities in addition to what you're doing right now, they may come to you fast and furious. And if you have been someone who wants to learn a skill, this is especially true of the third house versus the opposite house, the ninth house, which is ruled by Jupiter and its its sign Sagittarius. And that deals with university level learning, higher education. So the third house is more about elementary school level education. So for people who want to teach at that level or have some kind of employment in that particular type of arena, that could be featured for you. And in terms of those who want to take some kind of courses, chances are it's going to be a shorter-lived type of course, which is usually some kind of a training to get a certificate. So let's say somebody is an elementary school teacher and they get another certificate in teaching English as a second language. So they have more credentials and they can expand that way. Jupiter is great for giving you more opportunities. And if you take advantage and you use it, then you benefit from it far beyond that 1 year span. It goes into your future. There's also learning for learning's sake. And some Libra people may get into some kind of a group that involves a book study, or perhaps some sort of art class, anything that teaches you a new skill, but it's not necessarily for you to apply it to something serious like a career. Maybe it's just for your own enjoyment. And Jupiter definitely is an optimistic influence, so it's not something that demands of you that you make good use of whatever that skill is, because that would be more like Saturn in the third house. But Jupiter is just like, buoyant and full of feelings of positivity, and you will have the same kind of feelings, especially when it comes to these topics, because they may really spark an interest in you. And likewise, you may be able to parlay it into some kind of a career. If you already have a career in these kinds of areas, it can only enhance it. So, for instance, the third house is the house of media. Whether you work as a journalist, or perhaps you are on the internet and you're a blogger, a vlogger, trying to say that very easily. So, by extension, I would say any kind of YouTuber. I mean, I'm a YouTuber, but I don't call my videos vlogs. So if you want to start a blog or some kind of an online business, anything internet-based, that is certainly featured, and you might find that it catches on very easily compared to what you would normally expect. Maybe even, let's say you started a blog and you were just doing it as a hobby, and it really takes off. And then that becomes your main source of income, and you also decide to start a YouTube channel. It's just like it mushrooms. That is something that I can definitely see with Jupiter, with the expansion that it can promise, is that you take one little idea in this area and then it just like goes viral and you end up with a lot going on. Jupiter is also about lucky breaks and just good juju in general. And the third house is the house of siblings. I've also heard cousins, so these extended family members as well. But through brothers and sisters, you may luck out in some way. Maybe they help you. Maybe it's not just luck. It could be that they actually help you, and that could be very advantageous to you in some way. This is the house of, it's one of the mental houses, so it's all about a meeting of the minds. So again, I was talking about a book club or something like that, but maybe it's even with people that you meet that you feel this kindred spirit when it comes to the way that you think. And you might be saying, hey, I like the way you think. And with Libra, there is that type of kind of an attitude. I think all the air signs really recognize others who share some of their ways of viewing the world, the ways that they communicate. And I think this is very significant because sometimes in this world, it's hard to find people that you can really talk to, isn't it? And maybe that is something that I think it's very valuable for a Libra person to have that kind of individual or individuals in your life, because it's not something that is easy to find. It's easy to find people to go and to, turn up the town on Friday night, but not necessarily to have interesting, stimulating conversations with. The third house is the house of transportation. So by extension, whatever your mode of transportation is. And Jupiter may gift you with a better car, a better ride, man. So maybe you are somebody who has a compact car, and Jupiter may find a way, through the universe to give you a bigger car or a car that's higher up on the food chain, so to speak. And especially if you have a raggedy car, that might be appreciated. Although I cannot imagine for the life of me any Libran who would be caught dead in a jalopy, a beater, if you will, because you guys tend to like to live large and to have nice, shiny objects, including cars. If you are a public speaker or an aspiring public speaker, Libra, this can open up opportunities for you in this area. It might not just be in the traditional way that you might think. It might be in kind of like an unconventional setting where you are able to share your knowledge with others. For instance, if you have spiritual beliefs and somebody knows that you're very knowledgeable about certain things, maybe about meditation or ascension or things that are very much of interest to people, they may invite you, and that could be a lucky break for you. And again, when I say lucky break, I mean all of these things might eventually be parlayed into a career. Some of these things are hobbies for people. Blogging is not something that everybody does expecting to hit it big, but sometimes, I've read about people, they were just doing it as a side thing, and it just made so much money, they quit their day job. And so anything with teaching, learning, communicating is very lucky for you in that 13-ish month window. The other thing that the third house represents is the local area in which you live. And so the neighborhood in which a person lives, it's not a given that people who live in a certain area automatically hang out there and are very visible. I'm on foot a lot. I'm very connected. I have no plants in my third house, but I'm very connected to my community in that sense. This could also be, though, like local politics, and I think a lot of Librans, because you like to work with others, and you tend to I think you like that political arena, even if it's in the local area, that might be something that is expanding a role. You are expanding that role in your life for that area. And you have like a natural sense of graciousness and ability to convey ideas in an intelligent yet polite, manner that people, are very receptive to. And so a Libran is a natural politician, for better or worse. I mean, we could say that politicians are fake and, that they're phony, and that they don't do what they say they're going to do. But in the positive sense, it really helps to have a polished delivery and demeanor. And that certainly is true for you. So if that's something that interests you, you would excel here in the coming year. So that's another area that's very good for you. So that's what I have, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you'd like me to look at your natal chart and see where it's falling for you, because this is especially for the sun sign, because unless you have Libra rising, your Jupiter transit could be in any house. So that's the thing. And the natal chart is what we use most often for predictive purposes. So in terms of predicting things in life. So, I have links to my my readings below that relate to the natal chart. And take care. Bye.